We like to believe we are in complete control of our financial lives, operating as rational actors who balance a ledger with cool, calculated precision. The truth, verified by decades of behavioral economics and institutional data, is far more chaotic. Most people do not actually know where their money goes. They only know where they hope it went. To break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, we must replace vague intentions with structural frameworks. Financial institutions like Fidelity and government consumer bureaus have long championed percentage-based budgeting as the foundation of wealth accumulation. The most resilient of these frameworks is the 50-30-20 rule, a formula designed to remove cognitive friction from your decision-making. Under this model, exactly half of your post-tax income is strictly cordoned off for your absolute needs: housing, utilities, basic groceries, and mandatory insurance. 30% is allocated to your lifestyle wants, ensuring you do not experience budget fatigue, while the final 20% is immediately routed toward your future. For those with shifting priorities, institutions offer the 60-30-10 alternative, keeping essentials to 60% while carving out a dedicated 10% purely for short-term savings goals, independent of long-term retirement targets. The framework you choose matters less than the rigidity with which you enforce it. The foundational flaw in traditional saving strategies is a reliance on human willpower. We tell ourselves that we will dutifully save whatever remains at the end of the month. Yet human psychology dictates that if capital is visible and accessible, it will be spent. The verified antidote to this behavioral trap is a mechanism known as paying yourself first. This strategy requires you to flip the standard financial timeline on its head. Instead of treating savings as a residual afterthought, it must become your very first transaction. By automating the process through your employer's direct deposit or your checking account, a predetermined percentage of your income is seamlessly transferred into a dedicated savings vehicle the exact morning your paycheck arrives. This creates a psychological barrier, often referred to as out of sight, out of mind. By structurally separating your liquid capital from your daily transactional account, you effectively lower your perceived wealth. You can only spend what you see, and by hiding your savings from your immediate environment, you bypass the daily temptation to dip into funds meant for your long-term security.
While automation protects your capital from macro impulses, managing daily cash flow requires tactical micro-optimizations. High-impact wins can be found by auditing fixed recurring costs and adjusting consumption habits. A comprehensive subscription audit frequently uncovers forgotten trials, passive memberships, and overlapping streaming platforms. Rotating these services rather than maintaining them simultaneously yields immediate liquid savings. On the domestic front, minor adjustments yield compounding results. Because heating water accounts for up to 20% of an average household appliance's energy consumption, simply shifting laundry loads to cold water and adjusting thermostats by a few degrees when leaving the home drastically deflates utility bills. In the marketplace, savings are captured through analytical shopping. Experts advise comparing unit prices, such as the cost per 100 grams, rather than the deceptive retail price on the tag, while adhering strictly to a pre-planned list built around existing pantry inventory. To combat the psychological triggers of e-commerce, introduce deliberate cognitive friction by enforcing a mandatory 24 to 48-hour waiting period before any non-essential purchase. This delay shifts the brain from an emotional, impulsive state to a rational, analytical framework, effectively distinguishing a fleeting desire from a genuine need. Accumulating capital is only half the battle. The final phase of financial mastery relies on the strategic prioritization of those saved funds. Wealth building must follow a strict, verified hierarchy to prevent a single unexpected event from dismantling your entire progress. The first milestone is the establishment of a starter emergency fund, typically a base layer of $1,000. This fund is not designed for wealth accumulation, but as a shield against low-grade chaos, a sudden car repair, or an appliance failure, ensuring you do not collapse back into high-interest debt.